There's not one, not two, not three, but 4 towels. But I was like, I don't know which one she's actually used to wipe her coochie. Coming up on the Below Deck Med after show.
Everything she does is like, you know, and that's how it should be on yacht.
I mean, she was basically just telling Ellie and I that we're f***ing slow.
Work faster, and then she won't have anything to say to you.
Clearing.
Get the off my radio calls.
Yeah.
You are going to go with the guest to that temple.
Really?
Yeah!
She hated it!
It was just like really hard for me to enjoy the moment fully with Ian.
Yeah.
I have a special treat for you tomorrow.
You and your surprises.
I heard about the engagement in a voicemail. I was like, hey, Kate, I just want to let you know I'm proposing to Leah. How's that little baby?
It was incredible. The Below Deck Med after show starts right now.
The way Aesha was treating me towards the end was quite hurtful.
I waited until it was after dinner, waited for an appropriate time, and I cornered her on the top deck. Because I feel like you have been overstepping as the second. Yeah. If I'm on the floor, it's like you're not delegating.
Oh, that was
you're
unintentional.
It's been, you know, I've noticed it quite a lot over the last few days.
Oh, I would never disrespect you like that.
I never intentionally overstepped. If anything, this entire season I've tried my best to not overstep.
I would set Carrie on a job, and then she'd be like, Carrie, can you please come and take down the decorations? Carrie.
Can you please jump into the pantry? Carrie and Bri, I'll need your help decorating, please.
Ellie, I said that she will clear the pantry and on the radio.
Copy.
Angel. Who are you to be designating jobs to my floater when I'm on the floor? Like, what are you up to?
Whenever we did service for guests, I never walked in front of Aesha. I've always given her the respect that she is the lead.
There was all these things like that. And then one day we were clearing dinner. 10 seconds later, Jono, we're clearing dinner. And I was like, and it just made my blood boil.
To be honest, at that point, my mouth was just unhinged. It was like completely unhinged, running in the minefield. My brain was on a 20-second delay, like running behind it, trying to pull it back in. So I blurted it out. I really did.
I'm like, bitch, get the off my radio calls.
Yeah. And I immediately apologized. As soon as I walked by Aesha, I said I was sorry.
I'd already told Jono that we're clearing.
Oh, I didn't hear him. I
if you
apologize.
just, I can take care of all that.
I didn't mean anything.
If I was calling the girls to come and help me at any point, I was just asking if there was somebody available to help. I never meant it to sound like, oh, stop doing what Aesha said and come do what I said.
She definitely told me what to do a few times, but I did try very hard to let it go over my head. You know, obviously Aesha was asking me to do a job. I'm going to listen to Aesha over Ellie. Like, okay, I'm going to clear the pantry and do that before I can help Fanny Adams wear decorations up on the sun deck, you know. Which I don't know if that went down too well with Aesha, and rightly so.
Aesha thought that Ellie was overstepping, but then from my perspective at the same time, it's like Aesha was also so busy with other things. And I actually felt more comfortable confiding in Ellie than I did Aesha, like asking, what should I do, how should I do, you know?
I felt like if Ellie was being serious about the fact that she wanted to be a chief stew one day, I kind of needed to make her aware of how she's behaving.
Right.
Because if she's going to act like that on a next boat, she's never going to get anywhere.
You were helping her.
Yeah.
I hope she said thank you, and I'm not joking.
I felt like I stood on my head the entire season to please Aesha. I respected her, I valued her opinion a lot, and it meant the world to me to impress her. So for her to kind of discard me in the end, without having enough respect for me to just ask me first, to try to communicate first, allow me to explain, it really hurt.
So I sent Bri on this excursion as like a reward. You've been doing so well in laundry the last couple of charters, and I just wanted you to have a little treat before the season finishes. She hated it!
Oh my
It was so funny.
I'm so happy that Ian kind of prepared for this excursion, because Ian and I aren't really like the best entertainers on the boat, you know. Like, I was so excited, so stoked, and then I was like, oh. It was just like really hard for me to enjoy the moment fully with Ian.
I just went onto ChatGPT and you type in like bullet point facts about the Temple of Poseidon, and then it's... This was the prototype for the Acropolis. It historically served as a navigational point for sailors.
One more fact, Ian.
There's only 16 columns left out of original 34. And I mean, I try to make my reading my facts as interesting as possible. Like, no, Ian, give us some saucy info. I'm like, guys, you know, it's not like these guys were, you know, making TikTok videos back then, or maybe they're probably still causing as much drama. But I mean, yeah, like, I got what I got.
How do they back then lift those blocks up there?
Aliens.
I was
It's like...
Oh.
Kind of got the feeling they were like a little, I don't know, bored.
I don't know, I feel like we're trying really hard to just like trying to have like a normal conversation, but the guests weren't interested either. And then because Ian's not like...
Doesn't read the room.
I just felt like weird, and I felt like awkward around the guests when I shouldn't have felt awkward around the guests.
She comes back onto the boat. She's like, Aish, how do you talk to the guests for that long? And she's like, I was so scared. I didn't know what to say to them. And she found it mortifying.
It's like when people get released from prison.
Yes.
And they just do another crime because they're like, actually, I don't like the outside world. I'd like to go back to what I know.
You said, exactly.
It's
and it's
overwhelming.
exactly like you said. They get out, they come above deck, and they realise that it's actually so insanely hard. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. And then they want to go back to the thing that's familiar. I think one of the hardest things about a chief stew that people don't realise is you are constantly entertaining people. Like, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you are exerting so much energy into just speaking and entertaining. And I think people don't realise how hard that is until Bri goes on like a 2-hour excursion and realises that it's like the most excruciating thing.
And that's why I said I would come back as your junior stew in the laundry room where I don't have to talk to a single person.
If I could get the same pay, I would 100% be a laundry-only
girl,
stew.
laundry for life.
For sure.
I know.
It's so satisfying.
I know.
Rolling napkins for an hour with a podcast in. And there are no guests there, so you can have like your Diet Coke, your V, your Red Bull.
I want to get that big iron that...
Yeah.
And it levitates. The steam is so good. It's industrial. This is what life is all about. You don't know it's the good old days until it's too late. When you're a laundry stew, you're too green that you just want to keep on climbing.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I should have appreciated those good old days.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
It's a metaphor for life.
Was Kerry fast?
Kerry was so fast.
It was like the difference between me doing a 100-metre sprint and Usain Bolt doing a 100-metre sprint. Kerry cleared the pantry in like half the time it's been taking to clear the pantry, because she's like, everything she does is like, you know, and that's how it should be on yachts.
That meeting was demoralizing, actually. I know that Aesha was trying to get us to do better.
Everyone just needs to absolutely nail their areas.
Just kind of like crushed our spirits.
I mean, she was basically just telling Ellie and I that we're f***ing slow.
I mean, you cannot tell crew members who've been busting their ass for the entire charter season that they need to be as fast as somebody who's just got here.
Was kind of the truth. If they were going to get upset about it, then, well, work faster. And then she won't have anything to say to you. I've never seen someone take the length of time it took to decorate. I'm like, what the are you doing? Like, are you making these decorations first and then putting them? They're coming in bags. Pick them out of the bags. You've got the theme ready to go. This is not hard.
But like, it is kind of hard to match that pace when she's had all this rest time and we've been like working the whole season. Like, you can't expect us to be like like hyperactive Duracell bunnies like she was.
I think that Aesha could have done a little bit better with pacing of team members. What would have helped me with Kerry being here would have been having Kerry take over a late shift and allowing me to sleep properly. Because the biggest reason why I was running on fumes at that point was because I never managed to get proper sleep throughout the season. I was always sleeping when everybody else was awake and just constantly being woken up, you know, and it takes a toll because you're never able to get into deep sleep and actually rest. So at that point, if Kerry had taken over the late shift and I was able to sleep through the night, it would have given me more energy to do the job.
But I could never run around how Carrie like ran around.
Well,
like
that's
even
just-
from the get-go. When I first saw her, I was like, are you stressed? Like, why are you running around like this? Like even her face sometimes though looked like a
I don't mean this to blow my own horn, but she reminded me of me when I was like the hungriest, thirstiest second stew ever and just like sprinted all day.
Same.
If I started the season with Carrie, I don't think I would have been stressed once.
Aesha was burnt out. I could tell that straight away.
Have you seen any horseradish anywhere?
Horseradish. This is why I don't like taking breaks. Basically everything that Bri says, Ellie has said the complete opposite. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now.
As soon as I saw that, I looked to the other two and, you know, the speed wasn't quite there and I almost thought like they're just there for a holiday more than anything, but I didn't see much of a work ethic there with the two of them, so. And Aesha, she's good at her job. You know, she wants to give a good service and do a good job. You know, I could see her not taking rest rather than sacrifice the service, because the other two weren't gonna, you know, I don't think they were stepping up to the plate, really.